Hi, how you doing? Matt here from SuperCard. Thanks for tuning into another video today. What I'm going to be doing is showing you footage of how I constructed the two front radiators for the Gallardo. So yeah, the Gallardo has two front radiators mounted behind the front bumper. I came up with a construction or a design for each one that was like relatively straightforward, but utilizes quite a few different little individual parts for each one. And it's quite a time-consuming process to put them together. So yeah, I'll show you how I put those together. And then after that, I'll also put the two front wheelhouses or fender liners together, depending on what part of the world you're from. And yeah, we'll see how that turns out. So let's get started. So here's one of the two finished front radiators for the Gallardo. I'll just show the assembly of one of them in this video, as the process is the same for both. These are all the individual parts that I've designed and cut by hand for one radiator. I'll start by gluing these three pieces of foam core board together with PVA glue, and this will form what I call the foundation piece for the radiator. And this demonstrates the broad construction technique that I regularly use on this whole build, and that is to create a simple, strong, underlying structure for a part out of foam core board, and then build details outwards or on top of that. The two smaller pieces I'm gluing on will form the top and bottom tanks of the radiator. Next, I'll fold up this 1000 GSM poster board part, and this will become the frame around the outer edges of the radiator. I'll glue the bottom edge, that part, to the foundation piece. Then I'll glue both sides, like so. I use a toothpick to remove any excess glue that oozes out in areas that I don't want it to be. Now it's time to start building up the cooling fins, and this is a super tedious and time-consuming process. What I do is I glue individual strips of 285 GSM SuperCard into the radiator, one by one. I glue the strips in groups of 7, consisting of 6 alternating 2.5mm wide and 3mm wide strips, followed by a 7th 4mm wide strip. And what that will do is create some variation and texture to the front surface of the radiator core when it's done. And you'll see what I mean when it's completed. But for now, I'm just going to spend a couple of hours on this process. It's extremely repetitive, so I'll majorly speed it up for you.
Give you a good time. Give you a good get time. Give you a good
And that's the effect I get at the end. So you can see that alternating between different widths of different strips of card gives you some surface relief and variation. If I didn't do that, it would just look really flat and boring and uninteresting. Next, I'm going to add SuperCard details to the outside of the radiator to make the whole thing look smoother, neater, and all silver. So I'll glue a strip on each side like so first. Then I'll fold up this piece I've hand cut from SuperCard and glue that over the top of the tank. So that'll hide the foam core board and create a tidy appearance, especially around the edges. Now I'm repeating the exact same process for the bottom tank. So I just fold up a piece that I've cut out of SuperCard, then glue it to the bottom of the radiator, covering up the exposed foam core board.
Hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint.
First I'll do a quick fit test to make sure everything looks good, which it does. So then I'll add some glue and do the final fit. I'm not gluing everything all at once. I'll do like the bottom and one of the sides first, so I can hold that easily and let it dry. And then I'll fold down the other sides and corners. I do it like that because I don't really have enough hands to hold all the sides all at once properly. And I just want to make sure everything's glued carefully and properly. And so I do it kind of a bit more slowly and one side at a time. Just makes it easier. Right, so the next thing to do is to glue a couple of SuperCard rings or tiny little rings around where the top mounting bracket attaches to, like so. Then I'll add one more detail strip like this. These are just little extra detail bits. This is the top radiator mounting bracket, and I've cut it from 1000 GSM cardboard, and it just needs to be folded up a little bit like this. What I'm doing now is gluing another detail piece made from 1000 GSM cardboard. It's meant to simulate a strip of black foam padding which is attached to the side of a real Gallardo radiator. This little piece that I'm making now will be the bottom tank outlet hose flange. And I'm making it from a short length of drinking straw, a small piece of foam core board, and the point from a toothpick. I'll glue those all together, and I'll paint it silver of course to match the rest of the radiator, and then it simply pushes nice and snugly into a small hole in the bottom of the tank cover, and then into the foam core board of the foundation piece underneath. And there is one of the finished radiators. So I'll repeat the exact same process all over again to make one for the other side of the car. I won't show that process here, but let's fit them to the car. Oh, one last thing I need to do is glue the top mounting bracket to the top of the radiator, like that. Then all I need to do is apply some glue to the bracket, and it's ready for final fitment. First, the two tabs on the bottom fit into slots that I've made in the foam core board under tray, like that. Then the top mounting bracket glues into the front frame. And once I've fitted the other radiator to the other side of the car, they're all done. The other thing I'm going to do today is build and fit the two front wheel houses, or otherwise known as fender liners. And these are pretty straightforward actually. Each one is just made of 3 parts that you see here. The largest piece in the background is cut from 210 GSM black paper, and the other 2 parts, including the one I'm gluing now, are cut from quite thick, quite strong 1000 GSM cardboard. All I need to do is glue the 2 cardboard pieces to the main paper part like so. Then once they're dry, I'll carefully bend a series of louvers that I've cut into the main wheelhouse piece. So on a real Gallardo, air flows in the front openings on the front bumper, through the radiators, and then out these louvers that I'm folding up here, allowing the hot air to escape out around sort of the front wheel area. So when the wheelhouse is fitted to the car, it'll sit in this kind of shape. So yeah, let's fit it to the car now. The wheelhouse slots into place like this, and it's just held in place with several tabs and slots around the circumference of the part. And I'll fit one to the other side of the car, of course, as well. And done. So yeah, there we go. The front of the Gallardo is starting to come together. Next week, I'll probably be showing you how I constructed the 2 front fenders or front guards. So yeah, check that one out. And as usual, if you've got any questions or if you want to show me something that you're working on or building yourself, email me your photos to matt@supercardmodels.com or just DM me on Instagram, for example. I'd love to see what you're working on and what you're building. Or if you've got any questions about the Gallardo build, yeah, just fire away. Otherwise, yeah, take care and I'll see you on the next one.